Hello, Gemini. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. And sorry about the rain. Like, it's just not going to end today. So, but thank you so much, as always, for checking out these readings. And this week, we're going to be using the Crystal Visions Tarot. So, Gemini, I like what you're pulling here, but I wonder if you are actually going to give into that pull of the night and go and experience something. So from Le Vampire, the call of the night, daring, adventure, and excitement. And then from Chakra Wisdom, acceptance. The call of the night is one of my favorite cards. I love it. I love the idea of feeling that pull and wanting to get out there and experience something new, something exciting. And cue the thunder. But this card is basically saying that you need to go beyond the places and people where you feel safe, and it's time for you to experience something new. Get out of your comfort zone. But when you're looking at acceptance, that may be the reason why you're holding yourself back. Acceptance is about whether or not you are assessing yourself accurately, or if you're seeing yourself in a distorted way. It's basically saying that there is nothing wrong with you, that you need to embrace your imperfections, but it's really about self-acceptance. Now, the card at a glance says innocence and an ability to see one's gifts are indicated, as well as the protection of spirit guides, good luck, and an increase in self-esteem and confidence. All right, Gemini, here we go. Here is your overall for the week. The Queen of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, you could be dealing with a person, possibly an earth sign, but when I look at the Queen of Pentacles, I think confidence, right? Confidence. The Queen of Wands, she shows up when we're talking about, self-image, the way that you're seen by other people, right? Like, I don't ever feel like she has a problem with, getting acceptance. I think that's more so the Queen of Pentacles, right? There's a feeling with her sometimes of like not feeling confident enough or not being secure enough, right? So again, right, insecurities are showing up. But, for me, she's somebody who's very grounded, right? So for some of you right now, you may be really focused on your career. You may feel like really secure and stable. And again, she doesn't need anybody to help her do that. She can do that shit on her own, which is perfect, right? So for this week, it may be about getting, your self-confidence up, but then also feeling like you can do everything that you need to do to make sure that you are stable and secure. Oh boy. And in the past, the Ace of Wands. So yeah, when we're talking about insecurities here with the Ace of Wands coming through, you're talking about a new passionate beginning here. But are you confident enough to grab this? Is that why it's still past energy coming through, Because I always look at aces when they show up in the past and think, okay, so it was there for you before, but you didn't do anything with it, and here it comes again. What are we doing now? And again, it could be because of a person in your space. But I like it. Like, I feel good around it. It's just whether or not you're going to be able to grab that wand, right? Oh, shit. In the present, the Nine of Swords. What are you doing to yourself? Stop it. Stop doing that. I always get bothered by that when the Nine of Swords shows up. Like, I get it. I get the fear, the anxiety, all of your thoughts going crazy and running away with you, but I feel like this is self-defeating, especially with the Queen of Pentacles being the overall here. But I'm wondering what's causing it, though. I mean, just between the three, it could simply be that you're overthinking this new beginning coming through, and then, overthinking whether or not you're going to be able to do it. But I don't know, like, what causes this? So right now, some of you are like all up in your head overthinking things way too much. Way too much. Okay, so future conditions, the Hierophant. So again, Earth, Taurus showing up here. But with the Hierophant being future conditions, and that may be the reason why, though, too, you're in your head. If you accept this opportunity, it may be like a major commitment. Now, for some of you, this does not have to do with a person at all. This could be solely about you. It could be about, you making a business commitment between the two. It could be that you're, going back to school and making the commitment to learn something new. It may be that you need to be more spiritually grounded, right? And being grounded, I mean, yeah, down to earth with the Queen of Pentacles. But it's all having to do with this Ace of Wands and it being a major commitment. And you freaking out about it right now. Your best path to follow, the Hermit. You know, and then you have the Call of the Night, and I'm like, why? Why do they need to be in hermit mode? They're supposed to be out there experiencing shit. What the fuck? Now, it could just be with the Hermit being here that, you know, you need to look at what you really want to do. You know, it's almost like saying you've been through this before. What have you learned? And how is that going to help you make the most of this? And that's basically it, because the Hermit's already been 1 through 9. So this is a situation clearly here that you've been through before. So how are you going to change this time? But you're all up in your head. It's like you need to just take a minute for yourself and get like some silence to really like get clear on your thoughts here surrounding this, you know, especially if it's like a major commitment that has to be made involving it. But don't stay in hermit mode. Don't do that. Oh, okay. In your environment, the Four of Cups. Now, I don't think that this isn't something that you don't see, because clearly she's looking at it, which is very different than some of the Four of Cups that I've seen. So clearly you see this new offer, this new beginning, this new start. But what makes this any different than what you already have? That comes up with me for the Four of Cups. And then you have the Nine of Swords. Now, for some of you, you may be like way overthinking an offer. And then I wonder if some of you reject it and then regret it. But then you still move into the Hierophant though. But then I also feel like for some of you, it's just not good enough. And that may be where all the thoughts are coming through. Like, man, I'm accepting this. It's not what I thought it was going to be. And now I'm having to do this major commitment. You know what I mean? I don't know. But clearly you see it. And it's right there. Your hopes and your fears, the Nine of Cups, yeah. So, you know, is it everything that you wanted it to be? You know, and again, it really needing to look at what you're wanting here. You know, if you accept this, are you going to be happy with it? Basically. You know, if I take this, am I going to be happy with this? Hoping that it's going to be what is going to make all your wishes come true. And I hate saying it that way. It sounds so cheesy, but that's like what came to me. You know, but you're still needing to go back and think about all the lessons that you've learned going through this process before. You know, and it may be that you have this coming through, but there may be a lot of anxiety because there isn't a whole lot of commitment. And that may be on the other side versus you. But I'm still looking at you like really wanting this to be everything that you had hoped it was going to be. And then the Ten of Pentacles, that's not bad. And geez, with the Thunder, these two together look really good. And I mean like really good. So now when you're looking at the Emperor, you're talking about order and control out of chaos, right? Like needing to get control over what is going on, taking ownership, taking leadership here, you know, grabbing that wand and making the most of it, right? But then also having the strength to like really commit to this though too, right? Now with the Two of Wands, you're still thinking about the action that you're going to take. So, you know, you move into this place here where you could choose to go either way on this, I feel like. You could either accept this or reject it looking at the Two of Wands. But either way, it's like you're all up in your head about it. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles, though, I do think that you take the right action and you make the right choice here for your security and stability, looking at the Ten of Pentacles. And with the Hierophant, it looks great. It looks great. I think that this is something that is worth looking at and worth making the most of. Because looking at how you're coming out on this with strength and the Hierophant being connected all the way through, whatever it is that you have coming through with this Ace of Wands, whether we're talking about work, relationships, school, whatever it is, You in the present moment don't look so well, but I'm telling you, coming out on this, it actually looks like something that's going to bring you long-term security and stability, and possibly everything that you had hoped for, looking at the Nine of Cups. You just need to get out of your head right now and go back to what you have learned through the process you've already been through. And that may be why we're looking at the call of the night and you needing to just go ahead and do it and stop holding yourself back, right? But it doesn't look bad, whatever it is you're dealing with here, Gemini. And I see this as you. I do. And again, you could be dealing with a person for sure. But it looks good all the way through. The Hierophant. Now, for those of you who are single, love yourself first. And we hear it all the time, right? You have to. You have to love yourself first. You have to have self-respect. That's how you attract the right partnership, right? Or the right person. When you're looking at the Hermit with this one, he's looking at that candle, wanting that flame to get going, looking at all these other great relationships and wanting that to happen for him. And it's really about you needing to get up now and make it happen for yourself, right? You can't stay in hermit mode when it comes to relationships. Now, definitely needing to do some soul searching for sure about what you actually want, but then also needing to love yourself first, right? Before that flame can start. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, the Hierophant. Now, a lot of times this is looked at as the narcissist. But because you have playfulness there, it's like, yeah, this may be a really big commitment. You may be making a really major commitment here with the Hierophant, because this card in the deck actually talks about spiritual support for a relationship. So, we could be talking about a major commitment here and you needing to lighten the energy. It doesn't need to be that heavy, right? You need to still have fun. You need to still play, no matter how big the commitment is that you're making here as far as your relationship goes. But I don't see him as a bad thing. So not bad, Gemini. I mean, coming out, you look all right, and you do look like you're going to move into a place where if you do make this major commitment, it is going to bring you long-term stability and security. And, it's really just about whether or not you have confidence in yourself to grab that ace and make it happen. All right, Gemini, and again, sorry about the rain. I wish it would stop, but I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. Anyway, looking at this, and it's funny because I look at her as the overall here and look at these, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely makes sense. It's about self-confidence for you, right? Needing to accept that you are fine just the way that you are. And not letting that stop you from going out and experiencing some shit. With the call of the night, now with the Ace of Wands coming through, again, I see this as something that you just need to have the confidence to make the most of. Like, you can do this. You can take that ace and you can run with it, right? Now, with it being connected to the Four of Cups, this could be a situation here where you may be looking at this and thinking, it may not look or appear to be everything that you had hoped for, especially with the Nine of Cups and hopes and fears, and you may be overthinking this way too much. Some of you may be thinking about rejecting an offer, but I don't think that you actually do. And there may be a lot of overthinking because it's a major commitment and you're being asked to pull on your inner strength here to do this, right? Now, again, with the Hermit, I have always said when it comes to this, he's already been 1 through 9. So what have you learned through your previous experiences? And how is that going to change how you handle this Ace of Wands, whatever this new beginning is for you, right? But there's passion. I love passion, passionate new beginnings, new creative ideas, new sparks of inspiration, new growth. I mean, I love it. Besides the Ace of Pentacles, I love the Ace of Wands. And it's a beautiful new beginning for you, and this could definitely have to do with your career, with the Queen of Pentacles being there. But now coming out on this, the clarifiers for strength. The Emperor, you needing to take control here, the Two of Wands needing to act on what you have planned on doing, and then ultimately moving into, especially with the Hierophant, absolute security and stability with the Ten of Pentacles. but you could go either way. But I feel like you make the right choice here, and you make a really big commitment here that's going to lead you into a place where you're going to feel better. I feel like you're going to feel better about what you're doing, what you're working toward, what choices you're making. It looks good coming out. It's actually a really beautiful reading. It's just right now you're like all up in your head overthinking things too much, And then like when you're talking about seeing things in a distorted way, is that what you're doing here with this? Which is possible. But again, with the Nine of Cups, right, this could be everything that you ever wanted. It's just whether or not you're going to do this. But like I said, coming out, it's like you pull on your strength and you actually take control. And you move into a beautiful spot. Now, as far as relationships go, and this one makes sense to me, for those of you who are single, love yourself first and then the Hermit. Instead of like looking at other relationships and wishing that that would magically happen for you, you need to start looking at loving yourself first, accepting who you are first before you can attract the right relationship, right? But don't stay in hermit mode. Don't do that. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, the Hierophant and playfulness, yeah, if you are making a really big major commitment in your relationship right now, don't let it be so heavy. You still have to be playful and have fun, right? And again, with the Hierophant, specifically with this deck, it's about spiritual support, But sometimes you can look at it and go, yeah, narcissist possibly. But with playfulness being there, no. And with it showing up in your general read, yeah, major commitment, especially within a relationship, but needing to be a little bit more playful. But, whatever it is that you're looking at right now, you're not in a good spot looking at it, but things change. I do think that things will change for you. It's just really about you needing to go for it more than anything else.